Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. I am wearing my new Aliyah Boston t-shirt. Yes, I am. This is the day that the All-Star game will go down. And of course, Aliyah Boston is an All-Star. She was picked number one by Caitlin Clark because the way Aliyah has been playing, Caitlin knew if I don't grab up my teammate, Nafisa Collier will grab her up. So this is appropriate for me to wear today because it is All-Star, because Aliyah is an All-Star, and because I'm going to be talking about her right now. But I wore this t-shirt this morning when I went to the health food store to pick up a few things. And the young woman who took care of me, who checked me out, she said, "I like your t-shirt." And then we got to talking a little bit about Aliyah Boston, about the WNBA. She said, "I watch the WNBA whenever I can." And so we chatted about that a little bit. I told her that I have the Adrienne Ross Show, and she had me write it down. She said she's going to check it out. So if you're watching, I'm glad you are. And thank you for taking such good care of me today. And now let's continue our conversation about Aliyah. I want us to reflect on the beginning of the 2024 season. I had not been familiar with her. I didn't remember her from South Carolina. I didn't know much about Aliyah Boston. I saw her with the microphone in her hand working draft, saw her on the set a few times talking about basketball, etc. But I wasn't familiar with her game. But of course, I had heard that she was the first pick in 2024, that she was the Rookie of the Year. Then when the WNBA season started and Indiana was going through all kinds of stuff, I didn't recognize her as what I would say is a first round pick or Rookie of the Year. She seemed to be out of shape. She didn't seem to be ready. And so people were hard on her. I think she shut off her social media for a while. Very smart, Aliyah. Good for you. But then season began to kick in. The team began to get better. And especially the second half of the season, we got to see more of the team do well. Now, going into this 2025 season, there were people who were very, very hard on Aliyah, wanted the team to trade her, said she was trash, said that she was fat, slow, out of shape, just all kinds of stuff. And one of the things that I said repeatedly is that Aliyah Boston is going to come into the 2025 season and she's going to be ready to go. She remembers what it was like when she wasn't ready to go. I said, she will be fine. I did a couple videos on that. Then during Unrivaled, same narrative about her being out of shape. And I kept saying, I'm watching her. I don't see someone who's out of shape. I do see someone I wanted to be more aggressive. She kind of seemed to allow herself to be ignored on the court. But some people have said, you know what? Aliyah's there, kind of stay in shape, make some money and not overdo it. I don't know if that was the case or not, but I do know I didn't buy into her not being in shape because I saw in the one-on-one tournament when players were like sucking air, because one-on-one is not easy. Okay, you don't catch a break. You don't have anybody to pass the ball to. Nobody's setting a screen for you. It's just constant. And I saw people just hands on the hips, kind of walking around when there's a dead ball, trying to buy time. I saw Aliyah do the opposite. Hand like this, looking at the official, give me the ball, let's go back into action. And the season started, and hopefully all the conversation about she's trash, she needs to go, she's out of shape, hopefully all that now has been acknowledged as wrong, and that people are like, okay, go do your thing, Aliyah, we see you. Well, recently in a post-game press conference, after the Indiana Fever defeated the Dallas Wings, defeated them handily, it was Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston at that post-game conference. And the reporter asked her a question highlighting how different she appears to be this season. Let's take a look at what Aliyah said about that and whom she credited for the change. We're going to go to YouTube, to the Indiana Fever's account.
Aliyah, you look different. You look a lot stronger.
Slay.
You've had a couple
Thanks.
strong seasons, but Is there some kind of secret sauce to your success right now? I mean, you just look a lot stronger and a lot faster.
No, I don't think so. I think just making sure that I was ready to come in. Obviously, playing with the sprinter over here, she likes to get up and down. I think going into this year, I knew that a lot better than coming into my last year. And so for me, I think I was just prepared and ready to go.
Coming into her first season with Caitlin, which was her second season in the league, she didn't really realize, just like her teammates didn't realize the passes. You saw a lot of turnovers that were assessed to Caitlin. Her teammates were dropping passes because they just weren't ready for them. And Aliyah Boston is like, I didn't really get it. I wasn't prepared. The difference you see is that I have a year under my belt. I see how she likes to rock and roll, and I made sure I was prepared. And now we see the two of them doing extremely well when they've had the opportunity to be on the floor together. And obviously, we know this team has had a whole lot of adversity, which changes that whole dynamic. But yeah, I am different. I seem different, not necessarily because of something different that I am doing regularly. That it's just that I'm prepared now. This is what Caitlin Clark has done. Caitlin Clark, as we have said a plethora of times, makes other people better. That's the difference between a great basketball player, even, and a generational basketball player. The level to which one player can make other people elevate their game. It's sort of like when you play with someone who is constantly working out, the first in the gym, the last to leave the gym, the one who's studying the scout like no one else, the one who's watching film like no one else, the one who's getting it done. They kind of make you want to up your game. Aliyah, her game needed to be upped, but also needed to be changed to play alongside a Caitlin Clark. And so when we look at what her stats are this year, we can attribute a lot of that to her having the opportunity to play with Caitlin Clark. So even though Caitlin is not able to suit up and get out there and lead the charge in terms of being the floor general in tonight's All-Star game, even though she couldn't participate in a three-point shooting contest either, her fingerprints are all over this All-Star. Her fingerprints are all over it, not just for Aliyah Boston, although that's what I'm talking about, but for other people as well. Because when they know they have to face Caitlin Clark, they up their game. They bring their best. They want to stop her. And unfortunately, some of that looks a mess because the league is not able to handle it. They don't know how to call the game, or they don't, or they do, and they just choose not to. And so everybody else gets up for Caitlin Clark. That's a whole different story. Let's stay on the positive. With Aliyah Boston, it has caused her to elevate her game, being able to play with this one, as she says, who likes to sprint and who just makes it easier. When someone can pass the way she passes, when someone can demand so much attention, it opens up things for Aliyah Boston as well. And so when we look at her stats this season over on ESPN.com, we get to see that she has right here, she's got 15.6 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game, 3.7 assists per game. And it says 0.7 steals. And let me go down here to her blocks, 1.1 blocks per game. Her field goal percentage is 56.3, and she leads the league in that category at 56.3%. And shout out to her for all the work she has put in behind the scenes, I'm sure, when nobody was looking, when everybody was saying, not everybody, but many people were saying, well, she's out of shape. She needs to get in there. She needs to make sure she's ready to go. And Aliyah Boston said, well, you may not see it on social media, but obviously I'm ready to go. And she has shown us that. And she's done it with a lot of adversity. This team, from the top to the bottom, has been dealing with adversity. And so kudos to her. Now, she was also honored, obviously, in Boston. They got the official Aliyah Boston Day. And she also appeared on Slam magazine. And you know her teammates love her and are proud of her. It's not just Caitlin who's saying, you're going to be amazing because you are amazing. And she is saying that that's their ritual, that's their thing. And there is something about the spoken word, what you speak into people, not to get off on a different tangent, but that's why the Bible talks about the words that you speak. And that's why you can take a child who is constantly degraded and demeaned, and you can see them shrink and their spirit crushed, versus a child who's been told you are important, you have a purpose, you're here for a reason, you're going to be amazing, because actually you already are amazing. I think I say ye already are. I think I lapsed in the King James Version. But her team appreciates her as well. So let's take a look at what happened after Aliyah was on the cover of Slam. And here we are at slamonline.com. Check out this digital cover, Indy 2025 WNBA All-Star. What a beautiful picture. W Slam, Aliyah Boston. There she go. Digital cover. Aliyah Boston talks the Fever's ascension, staying present and repping Indiana at the 2025 WNBA All-Star game. And look at that cover there. And I'll just read this paragraph here. It says, before us stands the 2022 national champion, 2023 WNBA Rookie of the Year, 2025 Commissioner's Cup champion, and three-time WNBA All-Star. We knew the impact of Aliyah Boston then, but we definitely know it now. Her teammates did not deem this a small matter, and they showed that in a big way. Let's go over to the Fever's X account.
Like, what? So cute. I was shocked. That is so freaking cute. I actually can't.
You look so good in this. So good. And you know what made me happy today, Megan?
Such a nice surprise. I feel great. They're awesome.
Great surprise, having that Slam cover on t-shirts. Just surprised her. I love that. I love the camaraderie. I love celebrating other people. And you gotta love Lexi. She's like, you look so good. So good. Like, Lexi's just like the sweetest person ever. Well, so is Aliyah. So I guess they can be co-sweetest people ever. But her teammates obviously are proud of her as well. So it's good to see her get that kind of honor and that kind of respect. And I especially am excited for this team, because it's been really difficult. It's been quite a journey for every person on the team, everyone associated with the team. And for them to be able to stick together is important. Shut out all the noise out there, because the people aren't in your locker room. They're not in the coaches' meetings. They're not anywhere. We're on the outside looking in. You guys know what's up. So yeah, shout out to Aliyah Boston as she gets out there. I hope she has a monster game, but more importantly, that's really not about one player having a monster game. It's about having a good time. So just wanted to shout out Aliyah Boston, and also wanted to point out that she says, yep, I might seem a little bit different. That's because I knew I had to come back in here and play alongside Caitlin Clark. So we can't forget her. She can't suit up tonight, but she is such a big part of what's going on at All-Star Weekend and with this team. All right. I'll catch you next time, God willing. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. I appreciate you. God bless you abundantly.